What's poppin'? What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so my question for you today is, what are your values? Right? What do you truly stand for? So my name is Michael, and I'm talking about part 3 of the master system for making decisions. And the reason I asked the question, right, what are your values, is because, right, if you want to know how to actually make clear-cut decisions and actually, change, like, decide what you want for yourself, right? The thing is, understanding what your values are is going to help you make those decisions, right? Values are like the guide rails, right, for making decisions. So it's really important to know, like, what do you truly want? And this is a big misconception that I think a lot of people have, right? A lot of people might be thinking, yeah, I just want a ton of money. I want the car. I want the nice house. I want to, live in Miami. And you got to understand, right? Those are all means. Those are not truly the end goal, right? The reason that we want anything in this world, right? This is what I learned from Tony Robbins, right? The reason that we want anything in this world is because we want that feeling that it's going to give us, right? We want that emotion. We want to have that state of mind. And that's what I'm talking about today, right? If you can understand your values, then you can get to those states without, needing to have the money in the first place, right? You can actually, hit your core values just by understanding them. And that's why this conversation is really important. And then additionally, right, let's talk about, just how this leads to long-term happiness, right? If you have all the money in the world, if you have, every material possession in the world, but your core value is that you want to feel significant, and you had to burn all your bridges to get the amount of money that you have, to get the car that you have, etc. And there's no one that likes you, right? You are actually not going to be hitting your number one value, and you're still going to be depressed, right? So that's why, just having a ton of money isn't going to make you happy, but understanding your core values is what's going to help you, truly be happy, right? So if you don't understand your values, right, understand that you're going to be in a world of pain. And that's why this conversation is so important today, right? So your decisions, like I was saying, are guided by your values, right? So why do people, right, when Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich, interviewed 25,000 of the world, of all men and women, and found out that most people that were unsuccessful didn't know how to make decisions. What's happening, Colin? Right, when he found out that most people that were unsuccessful didn't know how to make decisions, right? Why did they not know how to make decisions? Why did they have a difficult time doing so? It's because they did not understand their core values. And basically, what a value is something that you rank as important to you. So this conversation is really, this is it right here, right? So finally, like I was saying earlier, right? Everything that we want is a state of mind, right? It's the emotional feeling, right? Do you want to experience, like, do you want freedom or do you want security, right? Do you want to feel like a bunch of adventure, or do you want certainty that the next paycheck is coming? And how is this going to affect you, right? So let's say your number one value in life is that you want to be certain that the paycheck's coming, right? That you're getting that consistent income. And then you decide that, okay, maybe I'm going to go start my own business because, I think this is going to be the right move for me, right? You are going to be absolutely screwed if you do that, because when you decide, like, okay, I'm going to go the business route, right? That's a lot of uncertainty, right? The money doesn't always come, and that's what's going to screw you up. So, understand, right? If your number one value is certainty, then you should just stay in the 9-to-5 job. Now, if your number one value is freedom, then, and you're working in a cubicle in a 9-to-5 job, right? And you're wondering, oh, why does my life, like, why do I not enjoy life that much? It's because, your number one value is freedom, and yet you're trapped. Like, you're like you're basically trapped mentally, right? And that's going to screw you up as well. So, that's why it's important to really, make a list of what you really stand for, and be able to, not just have it in your head, like, actually write it down and look at it objectively so that you can make, your next move. Because because let's face it, right? We gotta start thinking like long term. Like, what is the end goal? What is the next move that I gotta make? And what do I need to understand about myself that's going to get me there? And now I'll also want to share this, right? You got to realize, like, people will do things for two reasons, right? To gain pleasure and to avoid pain, right? So people will do more to avoid pain than they will for pleasure, right? People will do more to avoid rejection than they will to experience freedom. So there's also, you're moving away from values, right? What do you not want to experience? And understand, right? What you don't want to experience is like rejection, failure, loneliness, depression, right? What are your moving away from values that you don't want to have? Because, once again, right, you got to become clear about this, because let's say the number one thing that you never want to experience in life is rejection. But then you're like, okay, maybe, I'm going to start in the sales career, right? When you're in sales, you're getting rejected 90% of the time. So your life is going to be a living hell if the number one value that you want to avoid is rejection, right? So if so that's just one example that I can give off the top of my head. Now, if the number one value that you want to avoid is failure, then it might make sense that you start taking risk. Let me say that again, right? It might make sense that you do whatever it takes to really succeed, so that at the end of the day, when you get to the end of the road, right, you're not a failure in life. I hope that one made sense. I'm not sure if it did. Anyways, what I'm saying here is, like, you also got to realize, like, these moving away values, right? Rejection, failure, loneliness, depression, they're all states of mind. They're all states of mind that you're moving away from. So just get clear about them and write them down so that you can understand, once again, what's the next decision that I have to make. Now, right, this is such an important conversation, right? If you can really change your values, you can absolutely change your life, right? This is going to dictate, how you make decisions, and how you make decisions is ultimately going to dictate, the end goal, right? How you actually live your life. So that's the conversation today on values. I hope it was a really good conversation for you today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.